Greetings. I'm Charlie Wharton, chaplain for the St. Mary's County Sheriff's Office.
And I'm Larry Crabtree, chaplain with the St. Mary's County Sheriff's Office and the Maryland State Police.
We wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And we are in a series that we're taking some of the principles of the Advent time of the year and trying to make an application from an everyday perspective. And this is one that I screamed that we needed to do. We're going to talk about joy.
I thought you said you wanted to sing about it.
We may
sing some joyful songs?
Yeah, because I ain't got the joy down in my heart too often. So this one is very important to me because how easily it is lost. We were talking about this as we kind of prepped, and we both visited about television shows that we watched in years gone by that we really got a lot of joy out of. And then we went back and we watched them recently, and that's not really very funny.
No, like Red Skelton. My wife and I were watching that last night. And as a kid growing up, I thought he was hilarious. We're like sitting there going, that's not that funny. And you go, like, what happened? What changed?
Did Red Skelton change? Did society change? Or did we change? And I'm afraid too often it's that we changed. And we're not finding those joyous times in our lives. You know, when we do what we do, we're exposed to a lot of negative influences, and it can suck the life out of us, and it can suck the joy out of us. When that happens with you, and maybe I'm speaking for myself, maybe you don't experience this at all.
I'm always joyful.
That's why you're on my speed dial. When you struggle with times of joy, what brings you back?
Because it's hard. To recover joy is one of those attitudes of life that's difficult to regain. The thing with life and humanity is we can't command how we feel. So it's not like if I'm feeling down, I can just go, hey, Larry, be happy. Hey, Larry, you better experience joy, because that does not work. What I've learned is in order for me to change, if I'm down in the dumps, if I'm struggling, if I'm feeling depleted, is I need to really change the way I think. And I have to make sure I'm focused on things that bring me joy. Not things that, in fact, I've heard this said, beware the joy suckers. And joy suckers are all over the place. You know, we're scared to death of ticks, but there are joy suckers everywhere. And they can come in the form of people, it can come in the form of media, it can come in the form of culture. I mean, it can come in the form of just an off-handed comment that somebody makes. And it just seems to devastate us. And so I have to watch that, and it's because what I'll do is instead of seeing all the good and the blessings and all this around me, I focus on this one little negative issue, and I blow it out of proportion, and my joy is gone. And that's all I see, and that's all I feel, and I'm miserable. I've got to correct my eyesight. I got to be looking at something that is joyful, that's worthy of joy, that's worthy of praise. And when I think about that, that's when then my emotions start to change.
Have you ever seen the experiment where somebody brings in a sheet of white paper and there is a pencil mark on it, and they say, what do you see? Yeah. And the answer is, I see that dot on the sheet of white paper. And I think too often that's what we see. We see the negative in such a positive world.
Yep. And you can become basically like little viruses of joy suckers, and particularly in agencies. And you know, isn't it the truth?
Yes.
You just like, oh, I'm going to share my negative feeling, and so they share their negative, and it just builds and it grows like a snowball running down the hill. And that's why you have to be so careful of that. That can destroy agencies. I mean, nobody has joy. Everything gets sucked out, destroys families. But we can control it by what we're looking at, what we're thinking about, and honestly, there is so much good that we can be focusing on and enjoying. And if we need to, take a break and go enjoy something you like that brings you some laughter and some fun. Yeah.
You remember the song "Don't Worry, Be Happy"?
Oh yeah.
If it was only that easy.
Yeah. Yep.
If it was only that easy. Unfortunately, Robin Williams was in that video. I don't know if you remember that, but Robin Williams was in the video that was done.
Oh.
And so whenever I see it, that's a reminder to me that this is going to be one of those important things that I have to make sure that I take care of, or else it can overwhelm me.
And it's going to be continual. I mean, it's not like you just fix it one day and everything's good. I mean, it's because there's joy suckers all over the place.
Yeah, there's a toxicity that's out there.
Yep.
You know, I think that one of the things that I need to spend more time doing are being around kids, being around little children, because they truly have that joy, 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 joy down deep in their hearts. And if you don't believe it, just go to a nursery class and listen to them sing that.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're excited about life, and they're excited about what can happen.
They are. I have little grandchildren, but the problem is they do have a lot of joy. They also wear me out.
The great thing about grandchildren is you can give them back.
That is a joyful experience.
That is. That is. So what are some other things that you can do, or maybe some things that you've seen other people do, that can help restore joy when it's waning?
And I think the key again is you be a person of joy. Because while again we talk about there are joy suckers, there are also joy givers. And it's again contagious. You can tell a person of joy when they walk in a room, they kind of light it up and it just kind of spreads out over everyone else. And so for me, I try to be the best I can that person that brings joy into a situation in people's lives and not one that's negative, particularly as leaders. And every law enforcement officer, whether they like it or not, you're a leader in this community. People are looking up to you. They're looking to you for a lot of things. And so we set the tones. And if we can set the tone of, I see good, this is lighthearted, there is joy, I'm enjoying life, I'm enjoying my career, and you're finding those things and living it out, that just spreads to others around. And people love to be around other people that know how to laugh and that have joy in their hearts. And it's making a choice, I want to be that type of a person.
When people walk by your office, do they stop and engage you, or do they just duck their heads and keep going? I think that's a good barometer on whether we are people of joy or not. Well, we hope that everybody has an incredible holiday season this year. We wish the best for you. And as we finish up,
Be strong.
and be safe.